Our two-spirited people, historically, they were always held in high regard. They were our medicine people. They were spiritual people. They led ceremony. You know, and then things switched around. So we got to keep combating that stigma, the ignorance, discrimination against them, and that's why I'm here to show that support.
And what is your message to Indigenous youth who may be watching? Because certainly a first here, which is very positive, but we also talk about many issues in the community with mental illness, and just really speaking to the community, what's your advice to them?
The advice to our young people that, hey, have some resilience, have some perseverance, that you're special, you're loved, and you're going to make a great contribution to your family, your community, your nation. And just to get that support, because everybody's special. The Creator doesn't make junk. The Creator does not make junk. It's everybody's special, and they have gifts to this world, to this country, to their families. So that'd be my message to the young people, all the young ones, because I think through showing this support, it's going to help save lives, and that's important.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Den. So this week on The Den we're doing our Viewer's Choice Week. Now this week my Viewer's Choice topic was submitted by Ken Papin, for those of you who don't know, my wonderful boyfriend. Now he's always asking me questions regarding my heritage, anything about the Iroquois. So his suggestion for this week was, what is it like to grow up Aboriginal and gay, or two-spirited? So I thought this was a really great topic. To start, what is Two-Spirit? Well, basically Two-Spirit is the all-encompassing term that the Aboriginal used to describe anybody who is gay, lesbian, transgender. These are, I'm sure as you noticed, trans pride colors. They're also Two-Spirit colors, so like I said, it's all-encompassing. So as far as how Two-Spirit actually worked in traditional values, it was more a gender role, not a sexuality, because just our lifestyle, we had gender roles, but we didn't have, like, there was no main focus on sexuality. It was there, obviously, but there was no specific terms for, not to my knowledge anyway. So another term that has actually been used to describe Two-Spirits is Berdache. Now, Berdache is actually an incredibly offensive term that not a lot of people really realize is offensive. So what it is Berdache was the term that the colonists and settlers came over and gave the Aboriginals that they witnessed, like man on man, women on women, whatever. They thought that it was completely sinful, and so that was the term that they gave them. So you'll hear a lot of people still use the term today. It's kind of an archaic term, and it's, again, like I said, it's really offensive. So if you yourself have ever used the term, try not to. So as far as how the Two-Spirits were valued and how we were placed in among society was basically we were given honored roles, healers, medicine men, things like that. Not always. I mean, there was a lot that were just like basket weavers, warriors, stuff like that. But generally, we were given more of the prestigious roles. So the reason for that is there was a lot of tribes and a lot of nations that actually believed that two-spirit beings, or two-spirited people rather, were people whose souls had reincarnated so many times that they had actually earned the opportunity to embody both the male and the female spirit. And because they had the body of the male and the female spirit encompassed in one form, it was seen as a gift, basically, that we could live our life from a male and female perspective. Therefore, we could understand certain things a lot easier than other people could, which is why we were given such a prestigious role. So fortunately, there still are a lot of traditionalists that believe that Two-Spirited is a valued role in amongst the Native community and still appreciate it, and they get that praise. There is unfortunately a lot of hatred in regards to the Two-Spirited community in amongst Aboriginals, and a lot of that has to do in regards to religion. So in Canada specifically, there were residential schools where basically all the Aboriginal were rounded up. Young children basically taken away from their parents. They were forced to live in these residential schools where they had to learn Catholicism. They were beaten if they spoke their native language. So basically, because of upbringings like that, we lost a lot of our values, and there's a lot of prejudice that comes from religion, which a lot of people are aware of. And unfortunately, that is one of the main reasons why still there's a lot of hatred and there's a lot of hate crimes that go on against LGBT and two-spirited people in amongst Aboriginal communities. So there's a lot of progress to get back to the way that we were hundreds of years ago, but it's still as with the rest of the LGBT community, it's a lot of work and something that we all need to work together to accomplish. So myself, rather, growing up, I wasn't a traditional, I didn't really have a traditional Aboriginal upbringing. My father was Aboriginal. I found out when I was 8 or 9, I believe. And that's when he started researching our roots and finding out where we come from and the things about us. And I believe I was around 11 or 12 when I think it was around the time that my father suspected that I was gay. And he sat me down and he told me then about Two-Spirits and how they were a treasured role in the community, and it just basically everything that I've said so far. So he sat me down and had that chat, and it was kind of like reassuring. Even though I didn't come out at that time, it was reassuring to know that in at least one community it was appreciated, it was treasured, it was valued, as it should be. We're all the same at the end of the day. So now, fortunately for me, because on my mother's side, my grandmother was gay, my aunt's gay, it was open and accepted. So between the Aboriginal views on my father's side and my mother's side, there was not really an issue for me. But like I said, when it comes to smaller Aboriginal communities, because of a lot of religious influence, there's still a lot of hate crimes and a lot of hatred towards the gay community in general. So fortunately, I have seen a resurgence of two-spirited community groups and things like that that are building up and growing stronger, and we are building a name for ourselves. In fact, there was a march in Toronto's Pride Parade this past summer, but it's just kind of a step in the right direction. So it's nice to see that we're making that progress once again. Now, one last thing that I did want to touch on is why I identify as two-spirit and gay. Now, the reason for that is, like I said, Aboriginal on my father's side, not on my mother's side. So half my life I was told I was gay, the other half of my life I was told I was two-spirited. And what I've learned from my research and from just everything that I've learned in regards to the two-spirited community, like I said before, it's more of a gender role and not a sexual orientation. So for me, identifying as a two-spirited person who is gay, I think perfectly defines who I am. And because the traditional name that I was given when I was 12 years old was Okwari Us, Little Bear, I'd say it's perfectly fitting. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the two-spirited community. If you do have any other questions, maybe if you want to know what this is I'm wearing, what's with the ribbons, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great day. Take care.